This conference will now be recorded.
Ready? Good evening. This is December 2nd, 2025, meeting of the Council of the Borough of Matawan, New Jersey. Pursuant to Section 5 of the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by publishing notification in the Star Ledger on January 13, 2025, by sending notice to the Asbury Park Press and by posting. A copy of said notice is and has been available to the public and is on file in the office of the Borough Clerk. A copy of said notice has also been sent to such members of the public as have requested such information in accordance with the statute. Madam Clerk, may I have a roll call, please?
Councilperson Dina Gunn?
Present.
We note she's available by telephone. Councilperson Arlen Files?
Present.
Councilperson Brian Livesey?
Here.
Councilperson Stephen Russell?
Present.
Councilperson Suzanne Reynolds? Here. Councilperson Charles Ross?
Here.
Mayor, you have a full quorum.
Thank you. Please stand for a salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence, and please keep in your thoughts the families of Herb Nussbaum and Ron Cucciaro. Thank you. Except for any first responders, please silence all cell phones. Council and members of the public, please speak directly and clearly into the microphone to properly record for the audio system. Yeah.
Okay, so let's get Mr. Stern a microphone. Let me see one. Is there an extra microphone?
Yes.
Mayor, whenever you.
Yep. At this time, privilege of the floor for agenda items only.
Am I recognized?
I think she was before.
Oh,
you.
sorry.
But,
I didn't hear you recognize me.
I'm like looking for the. I got some stuff going down as I'm two hands fall. Sorry, noise happens. Okay. Abby Berg, Matawan, Broad Street. I just had a question, I guess, for the attorney. Sorry. I was just curious about something that happened last week, and I just don't understand how it works, so maybe you can explain it to me. Last week, we were in the middle of a vote for 25-18, and everyone voted, and it was ready for Councilman Ross to vote, and the Councilwoman Gunn stopped the vote mid-vote because she realized he was going to vote no, and it wasn't passed because they didn't have enough people. So I'm just curious, like how that's allowed and why it's allowed. It seems that, I don't know, it just seemed really unethical to me to stop it in the middle when you know you're going to lose the vote. That's my question tonight.
anything else?
That's it.
Okay, so I'll make a note of that, and then after the privilege of the floor, I'll respond.
Thank you.
Sure. Wait, let me get Mr. Soto.
Before we start this, you guys wait until I'm standing. I'm still seated, and it's disrespectful to start with me seated, and I have to stand up for the flag salute.
Okay, I don't think anybody knows that. Sure.
Well, I've been there a lot of meetings. You should have noticed it by now. All right. Okay, sorry. This is not take. Wait a minute. Hold on.
I haven't even started your time. This is.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Now, all right. This is just a procedural note that does not go against John Serto, 29 Crescent Place. This is just a procedural note that this should not go against my. All right, forget it. I won't say the procedural note. Stop the clock, please. Not, okay. All right. Ordinance 2518, $2 million bond for property purchase. Because this ordinance authorizes new long-term debt, residents need specific information. What is the exact street address, block number, lot number of the property being purchased? There is only one correct set of identifiers, so please state them clearly, because they were not in the package. What is the precise intended public use of the property? Again, nothing in the package. Please state the specific use, not general categories. What is the exact annual debt service, including principal and interest, beginning in 2026? Please provide the dollar amount. Was a formal appraisal completed? If yes, what was the appraisal value? Ordinance 2519, acquisition of multiple parcels. This involves several parcels on William and Little Street, so residents need clarity on the purpose. What will the borough use these parcels for? Are any of these parcels connected to the acquisition in Ordinance 2518? What appraisal figures or pricing guidelines are being used in these negotiations? Resolution 251105, Burlington Builders, 156 Washington Avenue. This resolution approves sewer and water connections for a private development. What is exactly being built at 156 Washington Avenue? Please state the number of units and the type of development. Do the connection fees listed in the engineer's letter fully cover the long-term impact on the borough's water and sewer system? Were any variances, exceptions, or special approvals granted for this project? Why is this development-related item placed on the consent agenda and not individually? That should be moved out, and I'm requesting that it be moved out. Resolution 251204, I won't discuss that one right now. I'll have that one later. Okay, let's go into the bill list. So I went through the bill list, and several bills on the list would benefit from explanations so residents can follow ongoing costs. Road and engineering projects, T&M Associates, Lucas Brothers. What is the total cost to date for the 2024 road improvement program, including all change orders and year-to-date payments? Well, number 5, using ARPA funds. Which ARPA resolution authorized engineering changes for well number 5, and can that document be made available? NJIB Infrastructure Bank engineering charges. How do these engineering charges, engineering costs fit into the borough's long-term water and sewer capital plan? Water meter and Neptune 360 purchases. Were the $44,000 in water meters and software purchased through a state contract or a cooperative? What is the total planned cost and timeline for the full meter replacement program? The MCIA debt service payment. Can the borough $388,799.98 every month? Can the borough provide the MCIA debt schedule showing annual principal and interest, how this payment aligns with the adopted budget? I found a $745 ACR health insurance late fee. What caused the late fee, and what steps are in place to prevent future late payments? That was a $745 late fee. KKD Enterprises, emergency sewer repairs. Were these repairs performed under an existing contract or an emergency procurement? If emergency procurement was used, can the supporting document be provided? These questions do not imply wrongdoing. They aim to provide the residents with clearer information about purchases, development impacts, infrastructure spending, and long-term financial obligations. If answers cannot be provided tonight, I respectfully request written responses through the clerk so the residents can review the full information. And according to OPA, I am allowed to submit this, Jonathan, to the clerk to be entered into the record. Thank you so much. Oh, I have 18 minutes. And I want to thank myself for my comment. Thank you. A little levity. Go.
mean, I do want to say something. He has a great question. What are our plans for the Bank of America lot? Because, you know, when we discussed it, I'm all for it. However, we have not discussed what the plans are. So I'll let go. Are we having any discussions about it? What do we want to do with it? Because it's a very valid question. We're going to spend $2.1 million on a bond to buy a building that we have never discussed about it again. So are we going to hold on to it and just look at it and paint pretty pictures on it? Or we haven't had discussions about it. So I think it's a valid question if we should have a discussion here now. And what is the thought process here? Because I was for it and now I'm not. Because I don't trust what we're going to do with it.
Sure. Well, of course, I can't speak for the governing body, and essentially it would be up to the determination of the governing body how that property gets developed or not developed, or how the future of that property looks like. But I do believe it has been the intention, and I think expressed prior by other members of this body, that there would be essentially public input meetings or opportunities for the public to sort of express an interest in that property and what they would like to see there. So I think that always the goal is to make sure that the residents have a say in the process of the development of that property.
Because I was approached by a developer who wants to buy that Bank of America and the police station.
Okay.
He wants to put specifically veterans housing in, which would help us on multiple fronts.
Well, that's absolutely wonderful, and I would encourage you to share that information with the redevelopment committee of the Borough Council.
I will. I don't trust I'll do anything with it, but yeah, I'll be more happy to share it.
Yeah,
Again, this is a big purchase for us, as a town of 9,000 plus people. We should have Mr. Mayor, I said this to you in a meeting when we talked about this. If we don't have a valid plan, there will be a lynch mob. And I'm trying to avoid that, and right now I don't have the confidence that will not happen. So if we're going to move forward with this, and it looks like we probably are, because I'm not going to vote for it, but you need a valid plan for this, because if there's nothing good comes out of this in the next 6 months to a year, the town folk may burn this town down. I'm just letting throw it out there. So let's sit on it. And I also want to, in the same breath here, why are we buying a property across the street?
Sure. So that property also includes the parking lot that is also on Jackson, next to the parking lots that are associated with the building of Bank of America's property.
No. Across the street. It's on this.
I know. That's what
The realty building?
So the McGann property, if across the street from Bank of America?
Yeah.
Yes. So they also own, that property also includes the parking lot on Jackson on the corner.
Okay, but what are we going to do with that property?
With the building?
With the building?
Yeah.
It's a contingency of that would be to preserve that building.
Preserve it as aren't there apartments upstairs?
It's just it's a very small commercial building.
Yeah, so again, we'll just preserve it and keep it there?
There's many different options. I think my suggestion is, but again, I don't have a vote, so it could be a great visitor center for the downtown. If you go to Atlantic Highlands or other similar downtowns, they have a visitor center that welcomes people to the downtown section, and I think we want our downtown to be a vibrant, welcoming space.
I understand that, but $425,000 plus whatever it's going to cost us to then revamp that, because I'm sure it needs work, and obviously that would cost, that's not minimal anymore. So you're looking at probably, let's just say $150,000 to revamp it for a visitor center. You're looking at almost $600,000 for a visitor center. That doesn't earn money back. You're not going to pay to go there.
Again, it's also the parking lot. It would allow for the complete assemblage of the lots on Jackson.
Are you going to have pay parking? People are going to have to pay to park there?
Again, as was just stated, there has been no determination of the future future development of the Bank of America property, but that is one key component of that whole assemblage.
So you tell me that building on the corner also owns the lot behind? Yes.
Correct. Yes.
Yep. In order to get that lot, we got to buy their building?
That is correct. It is a contingency.
Anyone else? Privilege of the floor.
Hi, Melissa Marinaccio, 3 MacArthur Drive. On the same subject, I have a question. Because when Dina's here, she talks about open space, but you guys are talking about, I don't know why we need a visitor center when we have the Borough's mansion. We need more businesses. We have Key Foods hasn't opened up. So is this like, you guys have no idea what you're doing. You're just, and definitely not paid parking. What about the residents here? So you have no plan? Are you listening, Mr. Mayor?
No.
I mean, it's all right. I don't vote for you anyway. So, you can get that on the record. Yes. We'd start over at 5 minutes.
Stop speaking, I have to stop the clock.
Sorry, Jonathan.
It's agenda items only.
Okay.
So, it was just a point of order that the mayor was asking me about, so I apologize. We didn't intend to...
You're fine, Jonathan. You're doing your job. At least someone is. Again, so you guys have no plan, but Dina, when she's here, she talks about open space. When these guys are running, they're snapping at the roads like they did something, and they're talking about more open space, but we actually have a park on Jackson Street that needs revamping for open space. So we have no plan. We want a parking lot. We're not sure if we're going to charge people. When we need residents have, you know, they need some parking over there too. I love the idea for veterans. That is awesome. What are your plans? Nothing? I mean, you've been the mayor for how many years? This is your party mostly. So what do you got going on for us? Nothing?
Again, there's options there. But eventually, you're going to need a
Do you think
borough
open
hall and-
space is a
You want
good
me to
option?
speak or no?
Okay.
Thank you. So there's options. It could be open space, it could be a new borough hall and a police station. So
We
there's
think it's
options.
we think it's in the best interest to control those properties. We may choose to resell them, but we'll have control of how the development goes. Everybody had a fit when that other building was coming up, and we did their best. And everybody wanted us to spend endless money to try to buy that property so that it wouldn't be developed. But now that we're buying property to protect it so that we could control what happens in it, everybody has a problem with that.
I don't
So
think
I'm not quite sure I
controlling open
understand what
space
it
as
is
an
that-
option, that costs stuff. So you're talking about maybe control it for a developer, but maybe have an open space that costs us. I really don't trust you to control
We have been discussing about
anything.
the old police department building when it comes down to turn that into a small open space. That was before the Bank of America building was even an option. So we think that it's better to control that property as opposed to it being sold to a developer who will do whatever they want. Now, Charlie, you may have somebody. Do we know how tall of a building he wants to build for veterans?
Obviously, we'll go to our, whatever our ordinances are, but I spoke to him in length on Thursday, Thanksgiving morning, and he is excited about putting veterans
Well, I
downtown.
think that it would be best that, since we already own the police department building, even if we were to consider selling that to this gentleman, that if we own the Bank of America building as well, we could sell that as a package and we would have more leverage. So I would,
But they can't build on their
Hold on,
property,
hold on.
can they?
Let
I
it
don't
finish-
actually-
Hold on, let it finish for 5 minutes, please.
They go at least 2 more minutes because.
I don't even know what else to say because they have no idea what's going on. It goes from like open space that costs us money to maybe we'll control it. Has anyone looked at the infrastructure if we're going to control it? Is that the part that we're going to control? Because we have a water problem, we have an empty Key Foods. Are we going to look at all this stuff before you go and approve it? Are you going to make sure if we're going to sell it, we're going to build, someone's going to build not too high so we have the fire trucks? I'm just curious, or maybe I want you all to just say you have no plan and you want to waste more money.
we're discussing,
Hold on, are you done?
are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
It's in discussion.
I'm done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else privilege of the floor?
Stephanie Buckle, 14 Chestnut Drive. So to be clear then, tonight, I guess, are you going to be discussing those ideas that you do have? Because it just seems like, I think what everybody's upset about is it's an awful lot of money that we don't have that you're going to be using to purchase this property. So at the end of the day, the money falls on the taxpayer. So if you guys sit on this for the next year, 2 years, waiting to see what you're going to do with it, who's paying the bill?
Do we want to protect our downtown area from development?
If we could
Hold on.
afford to, I would say that's a great idea. But unfortunately, I've been reviewing Matawan's most recent annual debt statement, and the numbers are very concerning. Matawan's current municipal debt is 1.65% of our equalized property value. If we can continue with borrowing this money, that's going to bring us approximately to 1.81%. To put that into perspective, each town, our surrounding towns around us, their most recent debt filings, Keyport, 0.7%, Little Silver, 0.6%, Red Bank, 1.1 to 1.5%, Aberdeen, our sister town, 1.49%. So this means that Matawan carries even more municipal debt than every similar surrounding town, even those with larger tax bases. That's not a small concern. That's what we're concerned about. I understand the borough may have ideas, whether it's redevelopment, additional parking, even a new park, because that's all the ideas I've heard on videos and things like that. But the reality is simple. We can't afford these purchases without clear and a realistic financial plan. Parks and parking lots don't generate revenue. The debt comes at us, the responsibility of the taxpayer. So we all want our community to improve, but it's unaffordable at this point. Our taxes are so high as it is. Do you guys not see what residents are saying? You're putting us in such a bad position, and I just don't understand why. I get that you want to control it, but buying that property and just, now you're going to sit on it and we have to pay for it while you control it? I don't understand even how that works. What is the plan? You're just going to take all this money and spend it, and then, hopefully you have a plan for us.
Thank you. Next, privilege of the floor, anyone else? So noted. Motion to close privilege of the floor?
Motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Motion passed.
Mayor, can I respond to Ms. Berg's question that she had earlier? So as a matter of parliamentary procedure, the council president will sometimes, or the mayor, determine whether or not they have the votes to proceed. This particular ordinance that I think you're referring to, if my memory serves me correctly, was a bond ordinance. So it would have been perfectly appropriate from a parliamentary standpoint for the mayor or the council president to say, okay, we need 4 votes because there's a supermajority necessary for bond ordinances. So in order for the council president to know how the votes is going to go, or whether to move to table or move to adjourn, to have the ordinance heard on a separate meeting, she needed to have an understanding as to where the votes were. It was during an open public meeting, so there's nothing inappropriate. There was clearly a quorum here. She did it in front of the public. She asked Charlie. Charlie didn't necessarily have to answer. He did answer. I think that's how a good governing body works. And then she knew what she needed to do, and everybody was on the same page. And now the ordinance is on for this meeting. So I don't think that there's an ethical problem with that.
Okay, so here, I just have a question, because that's the explanation. So what's to stop them from consistently realizing that if they need a supermajority and halfway through the vote they realize they don't have it? I mean, if they wanted a supermajority, everyone should have showed up. I just don't understand what stops them from doing that every single time.
Well,
It's like, I'm sorry, it's just, to me, it just seems crazy. Like, you could just stop a vote midway and be like, oh shit, we're not gonna get it, like, let's fix this immediately?
With all due respect, Ms. Berg, my impression of it was that wasn't what was happening, that the vote was stopped midway. I think the council president knew that bond ordinances are unique types of ordinances insofar as they need a 4-2 supermajority. Almost every other type of ordinance that we would have, a simple majority of a quorum carries it. So because the council president, I believe she stated her reason on the record that it was important to her, being the majority, she has this privilege, it was important to her that the bond ordinance be able to move forward. So she wanted it to be moved to she made the motion and the motion carried. So she sought that information from Councilman Ross, who, I think was collegial in openly stating, no, I don't intend to vote for it. So that gave Councilmember Gunn, as the council president, the ability to say, okay, I could count the votes here. I'm concerned that if this moves forward today, there might not be enough votes for this to move forward. So therefore, I'm going to ask for a motion to have it moved to December 2nd. That motion was made, that motion carried. So it all happened really perfectly consistent with parliamentary procedures. I don't see where there's any issue whatsoever in how it happened or how it went down.
So just so I understand, because I want to make sure it's clear, if mid-vote, the council president realizes what she wants to do isn't going to happen, she can ask people what they're going to vote for, and if it doesn't have her number, she could stop it midway?
So, I mean, I think that I explained it as best I can, that with regard to the bond ordinance, the council president was merely surveying the council to determine whether or not there needed to be a motion to table. In this particular circumstance, she made that determination based on the willingness of the council members to debate openly and honestly and say what their intentions were. And then a motion was passed in due course, and there was really no problem with it. So I don't see where there's an issue with how that happened.
Well, I guess I would suggest that the...
Bond ordinance, where money would be spent, yes, they can stop.
Okay, and is that the only time that can happen, or it could be for anything that can happen?
I don't think it'll be a normal occurrence that votes are going to be stopped. This was simply a bond ordinance where 4 votes were necessary, so I think that's why it happened the way that it happened.
Okay, well, I would just put on the record, I would suggest that the minority parties do not ever tell them what they're going to do, because why not? Let her, she wants a majority, then make sure all her people are here.
Did we get a motion in a second, Karen?
Yeah, we're technically out of public session.
Okay, thank you. Approval of firefighters. First one, Faith E. Carhuff. Can I have a motion for approval?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Motion passed.
And approval of firefighter Thomas Cook, junior firefighter. Can I have a motion?
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Motion passed.
And approval of firefighter Logan Ronstadt, junior firefighter. Can I have a motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Motion passed.
Thank you. Under old business, ordinance 25-18, bond ordinance providing for the purchase of certain real property by the Borough of Matawan, appropriating $2.1 million, therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $2 million bonds or notes of the borough to finance part of the cost thereof. Can I have a motion to open a public hearing?
Motion. Second.
Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilwoman Gunn?
Yes.
Councilperson Silas?
Yes.
Councilperson Livesey?
Yes.
Councilperson Russell?
Yes.
Councilperson Reynolds?
Yes.
Councilperson Ross?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you. If anyone wants to come up in regards to ordinance 25-18, you may do so now.
Yeah, thank you. It's crazy. I don't have my glasses on or anything, please. Okay, you're going to spend...
Excuse me, please state your name and address for the record.
John Serto, 29 Crescent Place, Matawan, New Jersey,
Thank you.
00747, service number 1497821. That's not my actual service number. Okay, so my questions about this ordinance that I covered earlier, because this ordinance authorizes new long-term debt, residents need specific information. What is the exact street address, block number, and lot number of the property being purchased? There is only one correct set of identifiers, so please state them clearly. Is anyone going to answer the question? This is for the public.
So my recommendation would be to let Mr. Serto.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that because that's how you guys block my time.
So if you could give Mr. Serto his time back, I think we put about 4:30.
Yeah, I know the trick of ask all the questions at once. You're not going to pull it with me again. Wait, where am I going?
I've paused the time.
Oh, I heard Jonathan say go back to 4:30.
I unfortunately am
That's
not
okay.
able to do that.
Okay, answer the first question, please.
Sure. It is in the agenda that was posted. The block and lots and address are there. 140 Main Street, Matawan, New Jersey, and 150 Jackson Street, Matawan, New Jersey, known as Block 26, Lots 1, 2, and 3, and Block 28, Lots 6 and 7.
Okay. What is the precise intended use of this public use of the property? Please state the specific use, not general categories.
Again, as was discussed earlier, it will be, is my understanding, it will be determined by the governing body after ample opportunity amongst the public at future meetings to determine the future development of the said property.
Thank you. What is the exact annual debt service, including principal and interest, beginning in 2026? Please provide the dollar amount.
I'm not able to determine that because no debt has been issued. That would be a later question once the debt is issued and essentially authorized.
You estimate debt ahead of time, so you know what your debt load's going to be.
I know that we're taking on potentially up to
Right.
2 million, but I do not know the precise debt service because I can't foresee into the future what the interest rate will be that it's issued
But
at.
you can estimate 2.1 million and just give a ballpark figure.
I'm not a financial expert, so I'm not comfortable.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a great answer. So I'm not going to get the... By the way, all these questions are in my packet to be answered, and I'm also going to submit an OPRA tomorrow with that to make sure it gets answered. Was a formal appraisal completed? If yes, what was the appraisal value?
So yes, but I will not release the information because the contract is not yet officially signed. And
That's public information.
It is public once the contract is signed.
No.
The public amount
Okay.
would jeopardize our negotiation
Okay.
position.
All right. Very good, thank you. That's all I had,
I
Ryan.
want the public to know, so thank you.
Right, no, you don't want the public to know.
No, it's all right. It's all right, good. Hi, Abby Berg, Broad Street. I just had a question about this. It says bonds or notes of borough finance part of the cost. What is the other part? Like, maybe I'm not understanding what it means. It says bonds or notes of the borough to finance part of the cost thereof. So is this only partial payment for it? And if it is, where else are we getting the money from? And yeah, like I don't understand how that, to finance part of, maybe I'm just reading it incorrectly. But can you explain that, please?
Sure, this would cover more than the cost. This will also cover the environmental costs associated with it.
What environmental costs are associated with it?
We have to do our due diligence, just like with anyone purchasing a property, we have to do our due diligence. So we wouldn't want to finalize the contract of the sale if it's determined that there's some sort of environmental hazard that's above and beyond a cost that the borough is willing to take.
Okay. And if it's less than the 2.1 million, excuse me, and let's say we get lucky and it's less than that, what happens to the rest of the money? It just doesn't get spent and it just goes away?
It wouldn't get issued.
And it just kind of disappears?
It never gets issued, so it never gets used.
All right, thank you.
We also keep in mind.
Hold on. Anyone else from the public?
Just have one more question. I had mentioned that environmental.
Hold on.
I got it. You don't have to.
Sorry, John Serto, 29 Crescent Place. Just something that Abby had said about environmental costs. You're asking us all here to accept these costs that you have no idea what they are. You still have to do your due diligence. I don't understand. This is not how business works, and this is a business transaction. We know nothing about it, the public. You won't even tell us what you're going to use it for. So how can you authorize up to $2.1 million when you can't provide us with one firm fact or figure? You can't, and you haven't. And that's terrible, and this shouldn't be passed. Thank you.
Stephanie Buckle, 14 Chestnut Drive. My first prepared question was, what was the borough's concrete plan for the property? But I guess there's no concrete plan. You're just jumping into this and buying it, so I'll skip that question. What financial analysis or cost-benefit review was conducted on this to justify spending this money? Anyone want to answer that, or you want me to just?
In what terms do you mean?
I mean, how did you guys come to say this is worth spending this money on these properties?
There was a discussion amongst the governing body in a closed session, and then it was brought before the public, so this is the discussion of the governing body.
Oh, this is the discussion? Because I'm not getting anything out of it.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, do you have a concrete plan then?
Again, I'm happy
Will
to...
be used for public use. The plan is to use it for public use.
We know it would be used for public use. That's obvious. Okay, so it's going to be used for public use. That's your concrete plan. Got it. So if the borough's long-term intention is to eventually sell the properties to a builder or include them in a redevelopment project, what would the process look like? Would the borough consider doing a pilot program? And how would the taxpayer debt be repaid? How will the increased debt level impact our taxes over the next 5 to 10 years as well?
There's no plan to resell the property at this time.
Okay. Okay, good then. So then you guys are buying it to sit on it. Public use, yes, cost of, a visitor center. Are we not seeing are you guys looking at the same Main Street we're all seeing? We have Terhune Park. The size of this town and Main Street, Terhune Park is suffice for this town. And Jackson Street Park, I forget about that, it's right there. You guys are gonna put another park there? Visitor center / park? I wouldn't care if we weren't paying for it. That's what I don't care. It's sad to say, but I guess to put it in layman's terms for everyone, what you're doing is you're taking a credit card right now with the Matawan taxpayer's name on it, and you're just swiping it. That looks pretty, I want that. Swipe. That looks great. Swipe. That's what you're doing. And your plan is that you're gonna give us open space. I personally, I speak for myself here, I guess. I'm sure others feel the same way. I don't want to pay for empty space. We have enough of it on Main Street. Most of Main Street's empty. Thank you.
Regarding the appraisals, how do you know you need $2.1 million if you haven't gotten an appraisal? How do you know?
I have gotten an appraisal for this property.
Okay, can you disclose what that amount is?
Again, similarly to the other property, I won't disclose.
That's public information, Ryan.
It will become public information.
Thank you very much. I have no further questions.
Oh, okay.
Jonathan, is it against some kind of law for him to tell us? We're asking, we're the public, it's our money.
So I would need more information. You know, I assume Mr. Serto is probably going to file an Open Public Records Act request. He said he did.
Well, why make him?
Because, well, the issue is when you're looking at what's public information and what's not, it could be a detailed question. It's not so simple as, is an appraisal a public record? At some point, if you get an appraisal report and it's a final report, that will often become a public record. I don't have enough information sitting here on the dais. I'm frankly hearing it in real time like you are. So I can't make a legal determination as to what information Ryan has in terms of appraisal value of the property to determine whether that's a public record that needs to be disclosed or if it's information that's being used in contract negotiations and hasn't been condensed
Do you want to ask him real quick?
Well, I mean, I think, it sounds like I'm going to have the opportunity. Unfortunately, I wish I could do it tonight for you, but sometimes this does require legal research. Oprah is very tricky.
I understand. We just please understand from where we're coming from, there's a huge transparency issue from the governing body, and specifically the business administrator. So this is where our concerns are from. And I don't understand. No one else.
I would say I have no reason to doubt what the administrator is saying in terms of, but I will look at the information that is provided more fully and see if there is an Oprah exception or if in fact there's some public record that would need to be disclosed, just like we would do with any other Oprah request. But I do know that the business administrator is working to try to procure the best deal that the borough can, and he does need to have some tools available for him to be able to do that, and that's why there are exceptions to the Open Public Records Act to permit somebody in Ryan's position to be able to try to get a deal for the taxpayers.
So if you look into this, you can tell us at the next meeting then?
Yeah, I'll be happy to give you an update.
Hold to that, please.
Sure, absolutely.
Thank you.
Anyone else from the public? So no, did anybody else up here?
Well, can I ask a question first? When this first came up at the last meeting, it was stated, I think by you, Ryan, don't quote me on that, that the owner of the property approached us to sell this to us, right?
We're talking about Bank of America's property?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, because that's what we're talking about for the 2.1 million, right? Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'm just curious.
Sorry, Councilwoman, let me just, thank you.
I'm just curious that if the owner of the property approached us to buy it, they obviously don't want it, So why at that point would giving the property value that was done during an assessment or an appraisal to the public, which they're paying for this, why would that jeopardize a contract that this guy wants to get rid of that property? Like, I don't see where that would be a problem, where he would be like, that's private, I don't want that out there. He wants to unload this, so why is that such an issue to give them a number?
So if I'm a purchaser of a property, because I can't opine on exactly where the current owner of the property is. However, I would not want to reveal to a purchaser of a property the amount that we think it's worth, because then they'll only accept what that appraisal's worth. When I could potentially negotiate with them, just like in any other opportunity where in a private sale, they don't have access to the appraisal that I'm using to appraise a company, appraise a property. So I'm not going to reveal my cards to them. I'm going to try to negotiate the best possible deal for the residents. So me disclosing the appraisal amount could delegitimize, could hurt our negotiation stance.
Any property buyer, like if I was buying a home, I would get an appraisal of it.
Of course, and the buyer would get one, and so would potentially the seller.
So did he get an appraisal
I
as
don't
well?
know. I can only go off of the appraisal that I have.
But if you're in negotiations, wouldn't you have asked him if he was getting an appraisal as well?
It would be immaterial because the only appraisal that I can use is the appraisal that I ordered.
And as a borough, we cannot bond for more than the value of that property, correct?
I don't know the specifics of the law.
Jonathan?
In terms of bonding, what I would say is we have to pay what we believe is fair market value. So we would have to have an ordinance to buy any real property. And under law, the borough can't pay more than what it legitimately believes is fair market value for a property, because to do so would be, an improper expenditure of taxpayer funds. So if we determine that a property is worth $3 million and we pay $5 million for it, then that's improper, because we have to pay for fair market value for a property.
We determine it, or an appraisal determines it?
So an appraisal is a tool to help the borough determine what fair market value would be for real property.
Anyone else up at the dais?
I just want a couple statements here, that we're on this subject. You've heard from the residents, and this is my issue with how this government in general works. Instead of looking and having talking points about how to win an election, we should have a 10-year plan. And to answer some of the questions I hear, this town does need some serious restructuring, because this building needs a lot of work. The police station is temporary. You got a potential building on 160 Main Street. You got this building now, whatever address it is. We should have had these discussions for years. And the fact that we're only having them now the first time.
We have been. I've been
The
talking about
master
it.
plan has not been updated in 15 years, Mr. Mayor. Come on, stop.
Say it again.
We talked about this here.
Say it again.
The master plan hasn't been updated in I don't even know how long.
But we've been talking about it.
Okay, you want to fill me in on it? Because we've asked this question and we can't answer anybody. I've been on this council for 6 years, almost, 4 years. We haven't discussed the master plan once. So if you tell me there's discussions behind closed doors, I got a bigger problem with that. I know, Ryan, you and I have talked about this on the side.
Well, the master plan has to be
reexamined. Restructure this town, like I said, I'm not done talking, John.
I'm sorry.
Right there.
I apologize.
This building needs what? When I get to 10, 15 million dollars worth of work? When somebody got it?
Where'd you get that price from?
How much was it?
It's not 10. I
7,
don't.
whatever it was. It was a lot of money. We need
So-
a roof, HVAC, electricity. The police station is temporary. We know that. We gotta be out there in what, year and a half?
I'm sorry.
The police station.
We have an extension, I think, for another year and a half. Correct.
Okay, a year and a half though.
Yes.
So we gotta find a spot for the police within a year and a half.
Or make the needed improvements. They need a sally port and a jail.
Okay, that's gonna cost money, so we're gonna
Correct.
do the bond for that. We're gonna buy this building, even if we do nothing with it, or we wanna make it a town hall, you gotta bond again, because you gotta do an improvement in that building. So this is not just $2.1 million to buy a property and hold on to it and say, okay, it looks pretty, we control it. And listen, I'm a capitalist. I'm all for controlling everything. Supply and demand is how I live my life. However, $2.1 million to buy the building. If we want to convert it into a police station, It's gonna cost you probably another $1 million. I'm throwing numbers.
Sally Port's 3 million.
Whatever, it's gonna cost you this. So that's another couple $1 million we got a bond for. If we wanna make town hall, again, we talked about this also in the past, about doing land swaps, because we own this property. This is the kind of information the residents want to hear. That's a plan. Right now, we have no plan. I mean, I have a plan, I'm not gonna, and I've shared it with the people out here. We, as a governing body, do not have a plan. And I think this is the part of the conversation, I think this is why the residents are so upset with transparency, is these are the ideas we should be throwing out to them. Hey, listen, this is an idea, we want to do this, we want to sell this property, we want to combine 2 properties. That's a plan. To buy and hold on to it is not really a plan. And I think that's part of the issue. Maybe I'm right or I'm wrong. That's what we should be telling the residents. That's my opinion.
Councilman Ross.
Yeah, yeah.
Did we or did we not discuss possible options for this property? The first step is securing the property, and in order for us to secure this property, it needs to happen before the end of the year.
I don't know what it works, Dina. Thank you for that, education there.
Excuse me?
I said, I know how it works.
In order for us to secure the property with the buyer, the deal has to be done by the end of the year.
Anything else?
But I am very curious about your conversations with developers. I would love to hear more about that.
I can hear it.
She would love to hear more about your conversations with developers.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen. You'll hear it from the development board.
Anything else from the dais? All right. So noted.
Can I have a last question? I didn't realize until Charlie mentioned everything. So we're trying to buy more buildings and more land that we don't know what we're going to do with. And we have how many millions we have to invest in our town hall and our police station? And you guys have no plan. I just want that on the record. No plan, no plan, no plan, no plan, no plan. They have a plan. And we know her plan is open space. What's your plan? What's your plan? Because you're not going to ever own a house in this town voting with them. Just saying.
Good afternoon, well, whatever. Good evening. Paul Busolato, 5 SC Drive. You have an appraisal on the property?
Yes.
Have you shared it with the council and the mayor?
I believe that I have.
Yes. Yes or no?
I am not 100% positive. I believe I have.
So you're allowing them to buy this property without, Deanna, I'm talking, to buy this property without knowing what the valuation is?
I have discussed the appraisal amount in a closed session with all members of all members of the governing body. Yes. I have.
So are you satisfied with the appraisal?
I'm not voting for this, so no.
I didn't ask you, would you be satisfied?
No.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Anybody else at the dais? Motion to close the public session.
Motion.
Second.
Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
I'm sorry, who made the motion? Thank you. Councilperson Gunn?
Yes.
Councilperson Filas?
Yes.
Councilperson Livesay?
Yes.
Councilperson Russell?
Yes.
Councilperson Reynolds?
Yes.
Councilperson Ross?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Ordinance 25-18, can I have a motion to adopt?
Motion.
Second.
Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm not getting it. First and second?
Dina or I.
Okay, thank you.
I second.
My apologies. Councilperson Gunn?
Yes.
Councilperson Filas?
Yes.
Councilperson Livesay?
Yes.
Councilperson Russell?
Yes.
Councilperson Reynolds?
No.
Councilperson Ross?
No.
Motion passed.
Thank you. Ordinance 25-19, authorizing acquisition by negotiation of real property designated as Block 26, Lots 1, 2, and 3, and Block 28, Lots 6 and 7 on the tax map of the Borough of Matawan. Can Can I have a motion to open the public hearing?
Motion.
Second.
Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilperson Gunn?
Yes.
Councilperson Silas?
Yes.
Councilperson Levesey?
Yes.
Councilperson Russell?
Yes.
Councilperson Reynolds?
Yes.
Councilperson Ross?
Yes.
Motion passed.
At this time, anybody would like to come up in regards to ordinance 25-19?
Abby Berg, I still live on Broad Street. I guess this is a comment on this one and the one before. It was mentioned that, you're going to ask the public what we think we should do with it. I just want to put on the record that I have zero confidence that you care, because when we tell you we don't like what you're doing and how you're spending your money, our money, you just pretty much do what you'd like to do anyway. So I just wanted to put it out there. I also just want to say I think it's amazing that this week Ms. Gunn could be heard on the phone, and last time when Mr. Ross was on the phone, we couldn't hear anything. So I guess I'm glad you guys fixed the problem. Just out there for that. Thank you.
Okay, John Serto, 29 Crescent Place. Are any of these parcels connected to the acquisition in ordinance 2518? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Connected in that they are in a budding adjacent properties, but they're no connection in ownership or things like that.
And there's no plans or anything to go with 2518 and
It's
2519?
to maintain the complete assemblage of those properties.
Okay. What appraisal figures or pricing guidelines are being used in these negotiations?
Again, as stated before, I will not reveal the amount until the contract is settled or if council determines otherwise.
Okay, thank you. Overall, I think, again, buying property on our credit card, so you guys are taking another swipe, more debt. Now, the debt that you're going to add on, the assessments, the appraisals just came out. Horrible. Now you're adding more debt. What are you going to do? You got to stop. I mean, we're going to be $100 million in debt by the time you guys are done. Anyone else want to comment?
I think there's another mic.
Yeah, I agree, but at least we're on the record and others can hear them afterwards.
I think we need that one for the front.
Yeah, I'll speak.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
Anyone else from the public? Anyone else from up here?
I just have a question on this one. So block 26 lots 1, 2, and 3, block 28 lots 6 and 7 is owned, they're both owned by 140 Street Propco LLC? Or is one of these lots owned by the realty place?
They are all owned by the same owner, the 140 Main Street owner. Yes, yes.
So none of these lots are connected to what you were talking about with the other purchase,
No,
correct?
they are
Okay.
not. There's no, they're
I just-
different owners.
I just, when you said they're back, like the other
Like
lot
they're just
there.
adjacent, that's all.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry for the lack of clearance.
Anyone else? So noted. Motion to close public hearing.
Motion.
Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilperson Gunn?
Yes.
Councilperson Silas?
Yes.
Councilperson Levesey?
Yes.
Councilperson Russell?
Yes.
Councilperson Reynolds?
Yes.
Councilperson Ross?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you. And ordinance 25-19, could I have a motion to adopt?
Motion.
Second.
Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilperson Gunn?
Yes.
Councilperson Silas?
Yes.
Councilperson Levesey?
Yes.
Councilperson Russell?
Yes.
Councilperson Reynolds?
No.
Councilperson Ross?
No.
Motion passed.
Thank you. Next resolution, council has needs to elaborate on this one.
Right, so with regard to this resolution, those of you who study the agenda, you're probably looking at it and saying, why do we have resolution 25-11-06 and also have 25-12-07 when 25-11-06 looks to be awarding the biennial maintenance contract to KKD Enterprises, and then 25-12-07 rejects all bids. So the answer to that is that we're trying to follow Robert's Rules of Order, and what happened at the last meeting was there was a motion to put what is Resolution 2511-06 on for this meeting on December 2nd, because we needed some more time to further consider it. If you look at 25-12-07, it explains to you why what I'm going to recommend is that somebody from the dais makes a motion to table 25-11-06. For the purposes of transparency, I'll tell you as much as I can about it. Basically, when we came back with the engineer's review, which they sent to the attorney, to look at whether or not the award should be made, and then we got an objection from one of the bidders. It became evident that there were potential problems with regard to the low bid relative to how it reported labor costs. And this is the incumbent. The low bidder is the incumbent who presently does have the maintenance contract and has done the work at a relatively low cost over the last couple of years. But the engineer's estimated price, which is something that is looked at for bidding laws, was about $750,000. The low bid was about $500,000. All of the other bidders were above the $750,000 engineer's estimate. So for the benefit of the borough's taxpayers, rather than get into a legal challenge with the objector, what my legal recommendation was and what the engineer agrees with was let's throw out the low bid for not properly reporting the estimated labor costs, and then let's rebid, because under the law you can rebid when the other bids are in excess of the engineer's estimate. So that way, by rebidding, we can hopefully still get a low bid, and it'll be something that will be to the benefit of the taxpayers and not result in a legal challenge, which would just cost the taxpayers money, because then we have to go fight it in court. So that's why I would suggest that somebody from the dais make a motion to table this particular resolution, and then obviously potentially vote on resolution 25-12-07, which would allow for the rebidding process.
I'll make a motion to table it.
But if you're tabling it until when, the next meeting again?
Well, so when it's tabled, basically what that means, as opposed to saying we're going to delay it until the next meeting, it means somebody has to actually make a motion to take it off the table. I anticipate that will never happen. Resolutions actually also die with the calendar year, so assuming that it's not taken off the table, which I don't think it would be, prior to January, basically this resolution would die, and then if the resolution 25-12-07 passes, we pretty much forget about 25-11-06, never gets taken off the table, and then there would be a rebidding of that particular contract.
I got a motion.
Until next March.
Motion. Second.
Second.
Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilperson Dina Gahn?
Yes.
Councilperson Filas?
Yes.
Councilperson Levesey?
Yes.
Councilperson Russell?
Yes.
Councilperson Reynolds?
Yes.
Councilperson Ross?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you. On the consent agenda, resolutions 25-12-01 through resolution 25-12-03. Could I have a motion?
Motion.
Hang on a second.
Does anybody want to take it?
Did you want to separate any of them?
Yeah, can you take out 1202?
So Mayor, you could do that without a motion, you could just separate.
Yep, resolution 25-12-02, approval of solicitor license, Victor Home Remodeling. Could I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilperson Gunn?
Yes.
Councilperson Filas?
Yes.
Councilperson Levesey?
Yes.
Councilperson Russell?
Yes.
Councilperson Reynolds?
No.
Councilperson Ross?
I hate solicitors, no.
Motion passed.
Hey, wait a second. You said you can solicit.
Thank you. On the consent agenda, resolutions 25-1201 and resolution 25-1203. We're doing Moss. Could I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Second. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilperson Gunn?
Yes.
Councilperson Filas?
Yes.
Councilperson Livesay?
Yes.
Councilperson Russell?
Yes.
Councilperson Reynolds?
Yes.
Councilperson Ross?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you. On the new business, Resolution 25-12-04, authorizing a payment plan for water and sewer charges due to extraordinary circumstances, 97 Broad Street, Block 19, Lot 3. Could I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilperson Gunn?
Yes.
Councilperson Silas?
Yes.
Councilperson Livesay?
Yes.
Councilperson Russell?
Yes.
Councilperson Reynolds?
Yes.
Councilperson Ross?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you. Resolution 25-12-05, authorization to connect to the Borough of Matawan sanitary sewer and water system, Burlington Builders LLC, 156 Washington Avenue, Block 83, Lot 4.02. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Can I question this? What is it? Who is Burlington Builders and what are they doing over there?
Sure, this was in result, subsequent to an approval of the Planning and Zoning Board approving a development of a single-family residence at this lot. It's a subdivision. It's sort of almost like a double-sized lot. It was then subdivided. Essentially, the main house is on Ravine. It sort of made a vacant lot on Washington to later be developed into a single-family residence. I don't know off the top of my head who the owners of Burlington Builders are, but it was approved by the Planning and Zoning Board. So we're just following their...
Goes from block to block.
Now I know, when you said Ravine, because I got a letter in the mail, and again, maybe put a little bit more information out there, just say Washington, little, hey, folks, this is Ravine in Washington, because once you mention that, I know what it's about. I know the property, they want to subdivide into 2 little houses. More information is all I ask for.
Got a first and a second. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilperson Gunn?
Yes.
Councilperson Silas?
Yep.
Councilperson Livesay?
Yes.
Councilperson Russell?
Yes.
Councilperson Reynolds?
Yes.
Councilperson Ross?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Resolution 25-12-06, authorization to execute 2026 SCAD agreement. Could I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Can I ask a question? I know this is SCAD agreement, but didn't they change it to Monmouth Rides?
That's something different.
I do think that the program is named sort of outwardly as Monmouth Rides, yes.
But our agreement's still SCAD then?
I think so,
They
yes.
actually call it a food shopping agreement in the contract itself.
Okay.
But it does, you're correct, it is all of them.
Okay, I knew that they changed it to Monmouth Ride, so I wasn't sure if this was inaccurate or if it was something else.
Yeah, they have all 3 actually quoted in there.
Okay.
We got a first and a second. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilperson Gunn?
Yes.
Councilperson Silas?
Yes.
Councilperson Livesay?
Yes.
Councilperson Russell?
Yes.
Councilperson Reynolds?
Yes.
Councilperson Ross?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Resolution 25-12-07, rejection of all bids for the 2025 biannual maintenance contract for emergency maintenance repair services for water, sanitary sewer, and drainage, and authorize T&M Associates to undertake any necessary steps for the public re-advertisement and accept bids pursuant to NJSA 40A1113.2 for the 2025 annual maintenance contract for emergency maintenance repair services for water, sanitary sewer, and drainage. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilperson Gunn?
Yes.
Councilperson Silas?
Yes.
Councilperson Livesay?
Yes.
Councilperson Russell?
Yes.
Councilperson Reynolds?
No.
Councilperson Ross?
No.
Motion passed.
Resolution 25-12-08, 2025 Clinton Street Park Improvement Phase 2, Paserno Giordano Construction, authorizing change order number 1. Could I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilperson Gunn?
Yes.
Councilperson Silas?
Yes.
Councilperson Livesay?
Yes.
Councilperson Russell?
Yes.
Councilperson Reynolds?
Yes.
Councilperson Ross?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Resolution 25-12-09, 2024 Road Improvement Program, Lucas Brothers, Inc., authorizing change order number 3. Could I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilperson Gunn?
Yes.
Councilperson Silas?
Yes.
Councilperson Levesey?
Yes.
Councilperson Russell?
Yes.
Councilperson Reynolds?
Yes.
Councilperson Ross?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Resolution 25-12-10, 2024 Road Improvement Program authorizing Remington and Vernick engineers to provide professional services for supplemental inspection services for Washington Avenue. Could I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilperson Gunn?
Yes.
Councilperson Silas?
Yes.
Councilperson Levesey?
Yes.
Councilperson Russell?
Yes.
Councilperson Reynolds?
Yes.
Councilperson Ross?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Resolution 25-12-11, authorizing T&M Associates to provide professional services associated with the Borough of Matawan Lead Service Exploratory and Replacement, LSRP, Program Phase 2 and 3. Could I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilperson Gunn?
Yes.
Councilperson Silas?
Yes.
Councilperson Levesey?
Yes.
Councilperson Russell?
Yes.
Councilperson Reynolds?
No.
Councilperson Ross?
No.
Motion passed.
Resolution 25-12-12, authorizing T&M Associates to provide professional services associated with the Borough of Matawan Middlesex Road Water Storage Tank Rehabilitation. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilperson Gunn?
Yes.
Councilperson Silas?
Yes.
Councilperson Levesey?
Yes.
Councilperson Russell?
Yes.
Councilperson Reynolds?
No.
Councilperson Ross?
No.
Motion passed.
Ordinance 25-20, bond ordinance providing for the purchase of certain real property by the Borough of Matawan, appropriating $425,000, therefore, and authorizing issuance of $404,000 bonds or notes for the borough to finance part of the cost thereof. Can I have a motion to introduce?
Motion.
Second.
Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilperson Gunn?
Yes.
Councilperson Silas?
Yes.
Councilperson Levesey?
Yes.
Councilperson Russell?
Yes.
Councilperson Reynolds?
No.
Councilperson Ross?
No.
Motion passed. The public hearing is scheduled for 7 p.m. December 16.
Ordinance 25-21, amending and supplementing the revised general ordinances of the Borough of Matawan, Chapter 21, Streets, Sidewalks, Curbs, and Driveways, Section 21-1.5, backfilling, and Section 21-1.6, Maintenance and Repair. Can I have a motion to introduce?
Motion.
Second.
Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilperson Gunn?
Yes.
Councilperson Silas?
Yes.
Councilperson Levesey?
Yes.
Councilperson Russell?
Yes.
Councilperson Reynolds?
No.
Councilperson...
Can I have more detail on this? What are we changing here?
This is 25,
Packer was all, reads like Hamlet, so I wanted a layman's terms.
sure, we're talking about 2521,
Yeah,
correct?
backfilling, what do you?
Yep, absolutely. So, utilities will come in and do work, most notably like New Jersey Natural Gas or et cetera. They'll open up a street, and right now our ordinance, so this ordinance would allow, as other towns have recently started to require, if you touch the road at all, you now have to replace the whole width of the road. Currently,
So with no more patches?
correct.
So they put up in front of my driveway, you gotta go to my Bush Street or like a wall ravine?
Correct.
Really?
From width to curb, it doesn't have to be the whole length of the road from the.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
Yeah, correct.
When I was a kid, I dig a hole in front of my house, we paid for the
Yep.
drive. All right.
Yeah, other towns have started to do it, so it came from the DPW director, it was reviewed with the engineer, and it's submitted
And
tonight.
it's responsible to either the gas company, or water company, or whatever else, not the homeowner?
Not the homeowner.
Is this going to wind up causing any issues with like making utility companies prolong the work? Like if they don't necessarily have to do something, if like something's not broken?
I can't opine,
I'm just wondering,
how
like,
they
if that's,
make
like-
their determinations, yeah.
That's a valid question. What are the, have you talked to other people in other towns, or utility companies push back on this, do you know of?
I've not heard of any pushback. I mean, I'm sure that there are natural pushback because it's making them spend more money than they had originally anticipated. But, at least from my perspective, if I'm a resident on the road, I want the width of my whole road repaved. I mean, you can see how they can sometimes butcher our roads.
Yeah, the patchwork is
So,
terrible.
yeah.
What, did we need to do the vote over?
And we did. I don't know where we left off.
No,
on the
just,
vote.
I'm waiting for Councilperson Ross.
Put me as a yes.
So noted. Councilperson Ross?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Ordinance 25-22, amending ordinance 25-10, an ordinance to fix and determine the salaries and wages of officers, management, supervisory personnel, and general employees not represented by an organized bargaining unit and employed by the Borough of Matawan, Monmouth County, New Jersey. Can I have a motion to introduce?
Motion.
Second.
Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilperson Gunn?
Yes.
Councilperson Silas?
Yes.
Councilperson Livesey?
Yes.
Councilperson Russell?
Yes.
Councilperson Reynolds?
Yes.
Councilperson Ross?
I just want people to understand, if you look at, and this, it's a range based on experience. I want everyone to know that, so I'm not going to be overpaying for certain people. So yes.
Motion passed. The public hearing for all three of these ordinances will be 7 p.m., December 16.
Resolution 25-12-13, authorizing the transfer of funds from current and utility accounts in the 2025 budget. Could I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilperson Gunn?
Yes.
Councilperson Silas?
Yes.
Councilperson Livesey?
Yes.
Councilperson Russell?
Yes.
Councilperson Reynolds?
Can I ask a question before I vote? What is this being used for? Like, what are you transferring back to the general budget for what? Like,
Sure. So this is sort of a normal operating procedure, sort of as, you know, of course, we try to do the best that we can when we're drafting a budget. But as you can imagine, certain things may cost less, may cost more. So some line items may go up a little bit more than they were anticipated to go up for various different reasons. So I unfortunately can't speak to exactly every reason why, you know, a line might need $3,000 or $5,000 more dollars. But essentially, in order to cover those expenses, we transfer from lines that are expected to not spend what they had anticipated to spend for the year. So it's sort of making sure that we're not spending more than the budget over it, so it doesn't appropriate more than the entirety of the budget appropriated. It just says Bob's line is going to give $3,000 to Jill's line.
So to simplify it, if you budgeted $5,000 for electricity, and you have $2,000 left over, we need $2,000 for water, we were for water.
Correct, exactly, yes.
So it's basically a reclassification
Of the fund, yep.
I guess my question is, with knowing that, what I saw the list of the amounts,
Yes.
where are you reclassifying these to?
So in the budget, in the actual resolution, it shows where the money's coming from and then where money's going to.
So the column on the left shows where it's coming from, and the column on the right shows where it's going to. So top line, $10,000 is going from other expense to salary and wages, and so on down the list.
Okay.
Do we,
Yes.
Thank you. Councilperson Ross?
Yes.
Motion passed.
and Resolution 25-12-14, payment of bills.
Can I ask a question on these two?
Yes.
I have two questions. We have on there advanced auto for monthly car washes, $810, then a $42 car wash, and then an $80. I know exactly where that is. Why aren't we paying for monthly? Like, they have monthly plans where you pay like $60 for super unlimited. So if you have 25 fleet vehicles and you paid $60 per, you'd probably wind up paying less than what you're paying every time you have a billing thing. I'm just curious if we've looked into that.
I will ask the police department if they've looked into it, and if not, to explore it. Yeah, absolutely.
And then my other question is, we have a pre-employment class for listed under police department for $299. Did we hire an officer?
No, we haven't hired, not for several months, not to my knowledge.
So we have a pre-employment class that we're paying for.
I would have to ask them specifically what that class is for. I don't know off the top of my head what the purpose of the class is.
I mean, like, I need an answer for that, because like pre-employment means before you get employed.
Again, I unfortunately can't.
Well, the liaison's on the phone. Can she answer it?
I would have to refer back to the police department.
Yeah, I don't have information on that right now, but I'll get it for you, no problem.
That's unfortunate.
Do we have an opening?
We have two.
We have two openings, yes.
Where are we up to?
I'm sorry? Oh, in terms of the vote, where are we, Karen?
We need a motion and a second.
Motion.
Second.
Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilperson Gunn?
Yes.
Councilperson Silas?
Yes.
Councilperson Levesey?
Yes.
Councilperson Russell?
Yes.
Councilperson Reynolds?
Yes.
Councilperson Ross?
Yes.
Motion passed.
At this time, privilege of the floor.
I saw your hand.
Right, I know, but the mayor runs the meeting and he has to formally acknowledge me. And
can
he
you acknowledge?
refuses to acknowledge me every meeting.
You may speak.
Thank you, sir. Okay.
Please state your name and address.
John Soto, 29 Crescent Place.
Thank you.
Arlen, I didn't have anything to say about you tonight. You were Mr. Peace and Love with the great music and everything. I watch you every meeting, and you yell at residents. You openly sigh when the public asks a question. You roll your eyes. That's terrible behavior. And guess what? I'm going to put together a greatest hits reel of Arlen.
I look forward to it.
Stop the clock. Stop the clock, please. I want my 4 seconds back.
Give him his 4 seconds back.
I think we have to.
You guys don't like to play by the rules, but I'm going to play by the rules. Give me my 4 seconds back.
I think the problem is we're not good at putting time back on. It's not-
Well, you're good at taking it away, but you're not good at putting it back.
We could try to do it manually.
I unfortunately am not able to add the time, but
I have it written down.
I'll wait 4 seconds.
Okay, so did anyone on the dais do any research on Victory Home Remodeling? They are a high-pressure sales organization. You guys put nothing in there about safety for residents that have disabilities, senior citizens, nothing. And guess what? You didn't do any research. There's 37 complaints filed against them. Why would you approve them? That's sickening. Okay, now, borough lawsuit in the Oprah request. As everyone knows, I Oprah'd all of our lawsuits since 2017. On November 16th, I submitted an Oprah request asking for every lawsuit, settlement, legal bill, insurance payout, and insurance premium increase the borough has had since 2017. These records show how much risk and liability Matawan has taken on, how much we've got paid out in settlements, and how much we've spent defending decisions made at Borough Hall. On November 20th, the borough acknowledged my request, but immediately asked for an extension until December 11th. Under Oprah, any extension must include a specific factual explanation, not general statements. So I asked for those specifics, such as how many records is this, which departments needs to be searched, and what was the burden. The borough attorney responded, but the explanation still did not meet Oprah's legal standard. He suggested some settlement agreements might require redactions, even though they are fully public by law, and some records are held by insurers. He again cited staffing issues and holiday closures. None of that legally justifies delaying the public records. Here's the part everyone needs to hear clearly. The decisions that lead to these lawsuits, legal fees, and settlement payments are made by elected officials who live right in this borough. These aren't abstract bureaucratic choices. They're decisions made by people we know, people who sit in seats, and people who vote on actions that carry real financial consequences. And when those decisions backfire, when they result in lawsuits, settlements of hundreds of thousands of dollars in legal bills, it's not the decision makers who pay for it, it's the taxpayer, every household, every property owner, every person that rent, everyone that lives here. We already know the borough just settled Carew versus Matawan on October 17th, and that settlement should be immediately available. That's only one example. If we paid hundreds of thousands or even millions over the years, the residents deserve to know which elected officials approved those decisions, what choices led to those outcomes, and how much of our tax dollars went to fix avoidable mistakes. 9 days after my Oprah request, and I'm still waiting for the records, the borough's explanation doesn't meet the legal requirement, and I've reserved all rights to escalate this to the Government Records Council or Superior Court. This isn't political. This is about transparency, fiscal responsibility, and accountability. Residents deserve to know how much we've paid, why we've paid, and which decisions by our own elected officials put us in this position. That's the only way to stop the pattern and protect taxpayers. My next thing is a group that we just started called Matawan Matters. So everyone, our group Matawan Matters was created for one simple reason, to help every resident understand what's going on in our town in a clear, honest, and easy to follow way. We're not political, we're not anyone's side. I saw you there, Brian. We're here to give people information they need to feel included and involved. We invite all residents, homeowners, renters, seniors, disabled residents, families, and anyone who cares about our community To follow our updates on the All About Matawan Facebook page, this is where we'll share meeting information, explain important issues in plain English, and post reminders so no one feels left out of the loop. We also welcome everyone to join our online meetings. Each session will start with the suggested topics, and then we'll open the floor for residents to speak, ask questions, or share ideas. These meetings are for the whole town, and every voice matters. We want to be very clear. All council members are invited to attend and participate. This is not a closed group. This is a community effort, and we want everyone involved, even if we disagree sometimes, unfortunately most times. We'll also be welcoming special guests. And tonight, I would like to invite Mayor Altamonte to be our first guest so residents can directly hear from their leadership in a respectful, open environment. Do you accept the invitation, Mayor Altamonte? No. I can't hear you.
No, thank you.
Okay. And finally, we're hosting an Oprah workshop within the next 2 weeks, and we strongly encourage everyone to attend. Thank you. Perfect. I did it.
Anyone else privilege of the floor?
I'm gonna go up. I just want to give her this. Melissa Marinaccio, 3 MacArthur Drive. We just had the turkey trot, and I know other people brought this up, not council members have brought this up, residents. So regarding sponsorships here in town from businesses, I'm gonna ask, I'd like an answer. What are the dollar amounts for each level, and how much was donated from each business? So like, for Premier, gold, silver, and value, what are the dollar amounts? And then, I have a list of sponsorships.
Sure, I don't have the exact amounts off the top of my head, but they are all on the website, on the recreation page, at least the dollar amounts. And then I don't have exactly the amounts for each sponsor that actually did give and what they gave.
But what would the Premier make?
I honestly do not recall. I want to say I'll pull it up on the website. Hold on, just one moment.
Yeah.
So on the website, Ryan, it only has gold and silver.
I'm reading it right now. It has Premier at 750, gold 500, and silver 300 for the 19th annual Turkey Trot.
Where are you looking? Because I just clicked on the link and it says sponsorship opportunities for Matawan Borough for the winter. So it's different for different events? We have different sponsorship levels?
Correct, yes.
So you don't have just one set one?
That is correct.
What happens if we get more from the sponsors than we need? Where's the money go?
It goes to the recreational trust to be used to support recreational programs.
How much money is in the recreational trust? I bet that's not in jeopardy.
I would have to look at I don't know the exact number right now.
I'm just saying, I guess they're flush, because no one else is. Okay, thank you.
Anyone else privilege of the floor?
Abby Berg, I don't think this is on, but Abby Berg, Broad Street. Last week, the last thing we talked about was the lawsuit. There was a closed session to discuss. I'm just curious what happened with that, because you guys are supposed to make a decision, I guess, on the amount that we, I'm not really sure.
So, yeah, I think I could probably speak to that best, which is that was an executive session. There was nothing that came out of that could be discussed in public right now. As of right now, there is no finalized settlement agreement that would be a public record, which is what Mr. Serto referred to earlier. So when Mr. Serto does get his Oprah request fulfilled, which he will, he would only get finalized settlement agreements that have been approved. That means generally, if there's a JIF involved, it has to get approved by the governing body, it has to get approved by the JIF. None of that has happened with regard to the Carew case. But I would advise everybody up here not to discuss what happened in executive session, because that's all private. That's all pending litigation stuff.
And then, how long do we have to pay it once it goes, and where is the money coming from?
So the terms have not been finalized with regard to any settlement. Whatever has been discussed in executive session, we can't talk about in public relative to that.
No, I'm just saying that in general, like once we agree, right, whenever that is, to be week, a month, a year, how long from that, everyone approves it, everyone says, yep, this is what we're gonna do, the chip, whatever, everyone, how long do we have to pay that amount, and where does the money come from?
Well, so that would be different in every case, but all of that information will be public at the time, if and when it happens. If there's a settlement agreement in any case, not speaking specifically about this case, there would have to be probably a resolution by the governing body, which would be public information about what the settlement agreement is, and that the council is going to vote to approve or not approve it, including the amount. After that, typically it would go to the JIF, depending on the JIF's procedures for that particular type of case, and that's also a public record. Then once it's finalized and the document becomes officially signed by everybody, then that document under the Asbury Park versus County of Monmouth case becomes a public record also. But the information in any settlement should become public as soon as the governing body is ready to vote on it. There will be a lot more information about it, but we're not at that point yet with regard to any pending litigation.
Are we allowed to bond to pay it, or is that not allowed? Like, how does that work? Because it's got to come out of somewhere, and we have a budget, right? And so this wasn't in it.
Have your times be much better.
Oh, I don't care. I don't care what justice is.
So I don't think necessarily that it would be appropriate to bond to fund a settlement agreement, but again, there's no discussion of that to my knowledge, and we can't talk about what happened in executive session, but I don't think that that's something that's realistic.
So if we can't bond it, I'm just trying to understand it, because this is going to be a lot of money. It's going to have to be pulled from the budget, which means it's going to have to short another area, right? Because you can't just pull money out. So I'm very interested to see what we're shorting.
If there's going to be a settlement agreement, you'll be fully apprised, as will all members of the public, as to what that will look like. Again, we do have insurance, obviously, so money comes from insurance to settle these types of cases.
But there's a difference, and we're responsible, right? Just so I understand.
What?
Like, let's just say from regular money, the insurance says we're going to pay him $10, and the settlement is for $20, and we have to pay the 10, that's extra, correct?
If hypothetically somebody sued us for $20 and the Borough of Matawan had to expend $10 to pay for that amount of money, there would very likely be a resolution approving that $10 payment. So the members of the public would see that information.
And at that time, it will be told to us where the money's coming, like what did it say here? Where it's being moved, right? We're in the budget.
Request.
Right, where we're going to move it to, we'll know that as well, correct?
I mean, if you're asking about specific CFO questions about budget, that's not really my area, but you could certainly ask questions to anybody up here, and they'll give you the best answer they can about, budgetary information and how the borough could afford making settlement payments if and when that comes to fruition with regard to any settlement that the borough is making a contribution toward. And I'm saying that just generally, we're speaking in hypotheticals.
Thank you.
Can I ask a question? Regarding this case, I mean, what is taking so long? Because I was subpoenaed to go to court in October, and I was told they settled back in October. And here we are in December, and nothing's final yet?
So
It seems kind of odd that in October, I've had this conversation, you were all on email, bitch to moan.
So I know this won't be a popular answer, Councilman, but so we do have public information that anybody could see on eCourts that there was a tentative settlement agreement, but nothing has been finalized from the council's perspective. So
Why is it taking so long? Because there was obviously numbers that were exchanged. Because if the court and the lawyers and everybody saying there's a tentative settlement, so I guess the question is, there were numbers exchanged. You don't still come out and say, oh yeah, we settled. Well, what's the numbers? We haven't decided that yet. So I guess my question is, why is it taking so long? Because again, I was supposed to go to court on October 16th. It is now December 2nd. I was told on October 7th, 27th, whatever it was, this has been settled. You don't say it's been settled if you don't have a number. So obviously the numbers have been exchanged. Why is it taking from October 27th until December 2nd to be actually finalized?
So I would, seriously caution everybody on this dais that this is an ongoing legal matter. There has been no resolution to it. There still are settlement discussions that have to be finalized if in fact there is going to be a finalization. So really nobody on this dais should be answering that question or digging into that right now. There'll be time to answer those questions later and look into it, but as of right now, we're still in a position where we've got ongoing litigation, so it's not advisable for the council to speak publicly about that matter.
Mr. Washington?
Washington, 16, it's not on. Washington, 16 Orchard Street. As per Resolution 25-1208, the change order for the Clinton Street Park improvements. What is the nature? What was the actual change? I know they had an issue with some of the trees, and they redid the trees. Me and Brian talked about that, but I was just curious what the change order was for the Clinton Street Park.
Sure, it's largely related to, and forgive me, I don't know the exact technical term, but essentially the base foundation layer of the base basketball courts. We were hoping, in the original award, we're hoping that they would be sufficient to be able to do the next layer. Unfortunately, once work began, it became apparent that that base foundation was not sufficient. So we now have to do the base foundation over as well.
Understood. And 2520, bond ordinance providing for the purchase of real property. What property?
I'm sorry, repeat the bond ordinance number for me one more
Ordinance
time.
25-20.
That is the property, I believe it's 138 Main Street, and also associated with that property is the property on Jackson Street, right on the corner of Jackson and Ravine.
Oh, this is part of the whole Bank of America kind of complex?
The whole sort of assemblage. This is not owned by Bank of America's owner, but
it's adjacent?
Yes.
It's adjacent?
Yes, it's the adjacent property.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? Privilege of the floor? So noted. Motion to close, privilege of the floor?
Motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Motion passed.
And motion to adjourn to executive session.
Can I ask what this is? I saw that it was about litigation. Is it the same as last meeting? Same litigation?
So the topic is going to include the same thing that we talked about at the last executive session.
Okay, well, I will be not attending. I was not included for the last year. Again, I am not here to clean up the mess or decide on anything to clean up the mess.
Motion for adjourn to executive session?
Motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Motion passed.
Thank you. Good night.
We're going into the chairman.
There's a Zoom. We can call the Zoom. Oh, yeah.